afternoon, back down on the boat. So it's 2nd of January 2019, back down working on the engine. I've been sort of in bed for the last week and a half. Well, you don't need to know the details, but I've not been very well. So I made a video about it. When I watched it, it was so fucking depressing that I couldn't even watch it myself. So I thought, I'm not going to upload that because nobody needs to see how depressing that is. I'm addressing this to future Paul. It's 2019. This is the year we're going to get the engine going. We're not going to bother with any of the nice stuff inside, just the engine and the controls in the cab, just so we can use this as an actual boat and not a floating caravan. So that's the plan for this year. I've got a long list of jobs I need to do before that happens, but unfortunately they're in my head. So I'm not really a lists kind of guy, but I've decided I'm going to write a list of jobs that need to be done, and I'm going to go around the boat and identify which jobs I need to do and in which order, and prioritize them. And as I said, it's more for my benefit than yours, but you know, if you find something helpful, I doubt it, but you might find something helpful in it. But maybe you're tackling this kind of project and you find it a little bit daunting. I do find it helps watching other people. I watch lots of boat videos like you probably do, and there's a few of them at different stages of what I'm doing, but there's a few of them at the same stage. They work much faster than me, obviously, but you know, I could get clues and little ideas about things from them. For instance, I'm putting the engine, or I'm putting it back on its footings. Now, I've read conflicting things about how the engine needs to be straight or how it needs to be on an angle, and it all depends on the type of engine and the age of the engine. The engine, when it was fitted before, was raised like 5 or 10 degrees at the front by these little spacers, and I wasn't going to use them, but I am now. I'm going to put it exactly where it was before. I had planned on moving it because it's not in the centre of the boat. It's actually aft of the centre, which isn't ideal, but I think if I start messing about moving that about, I'll never get the thing going. So what I'm going to do is just put it back where it was and then worry about sort of centre of gravity at a later date. And once I know the engine's working and going, then I'll move it about. Otherwise I'll never get it going. So I've got to work smart, not harder. My disability prevents me from working harder, so I've got to work smarter. So Paul, what do you need to do to get this engine going again? Well, first thing is I need to bolt it down on that bolt and that bolt, and the corresponding ones at the back. That's job one. Once it's bolted down, I can start reapplying, start attaching the gearbox and all the head and all the other bits and bobs. Now, up to now, I've completely rebuilt it from the ground up. I've replaced the pistons and the sleeves. There's a hell of a lot of work, and that took me about 1.5 years. So, and you know, if I was a real mechanic, I would have gone and done it in a weekend, but it's taken me 1.5 years. So it's probably going to take me, I think I've done the lion's share of the work, so I think it's going to take me about the next 6 to 8 months to get the rest of the engine built, a couple of months for testing, and then a couple of months for getting the cabin refit, like not refitted, just the controls putting in. So this time, in 12 months time, I want the boat to be working. Job 2, put the head on. Job 3, gearbox. Am I pointing at the gearbox? There, yes. Job 3, gearbox. Job 4, timing. Job 5, everything else. So there we have it. Plan for the future. Now, if I was able-bodied and I had the time and the energy and the money I could probably, well, I would have had this engine rebuilt a year and a half ago, but I haven't. I've got a disability and I just have to learn to live with that. Otherwise, I'm just going to live with disappointment. If I want to get shit done, I'm going to have to do it. Like I said in another video, it doesn't matter how hard I work or how much effort I put in. If I become fatigued, I can't just push through it. If I become fatigued, I have to go to bed. I've been in bed for 2 weeks. Well, I've been in bed since Christmas Day because I pushed myself too much and I've been paying the price. So I'm going to have well-defined goals and I'm going to prioritise the jobs that need doing first. I'm going to get this fucking boat sailing, or motoring. It's a motorboat, but you know what I mean. So this time next year, Paul, I want to see this boat out of the marina and in the sea. Hopefully not at the bottom of the sea, but sailing. Motoring?